Okay, so it's the 19th of June today, and a box here from What Records Now. This could be one of a couple of things, so I'm not going to say what it is because it could, again, it's going to be a less interesting thing, I think. Let's see what we got. I think there's a couple of things in here. Good thing about What Records is that they do always package everything correctly. Okay. I think next was the... Let me grab the scissors for this bit. Again, trying to get this on camera is bloody difficult. Yeah, we'll put the camera a bit further back. There we go, might be able to see it better. Because the problem is that I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing rather than if it's on camera or not. okay. God's sake, it doesn't want to come out. Okay, not exactly what I was expecting, but okay. So these are replacement inner sleeves for my Serpent's Quest. Is it Serpent's Chest? So yeah, Serpent's Chest vinyl, because if I remember it was LP4, I think it was, or was it this one? Was it this one? One of them had a tear in it, basically. One of them had a tear in it, and I got in touch with Rock Records saying just now, and they said we'll get in touch. They initially said to me, "Oh yeah, send it back. Send the sleeve back, and we'll, send out. We'll get in touch with the company and send out another one." And I said, "Well, I don't really want to do that. For the main reason is because." What am I going to put the record in until then? So yeah, but I didn't expect them to send me all of the sleeves, all of the replacement sleeves. Yeah. So yeah, I did ask them. I said, I've got nothing to put it in until then. So can you just send the sleeve, and then I send it back? And they went okay. But yeah, I didn't expect them to send all of them. So good for that. I'm going to put them. Put that out the way, and then I'm not going to swap all the sleeves, just the one. Pardon me. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest though, because all the others were perfectly fine. I'm assuming it's just because they've got no use for the rest of them, and that Demon Records, I think it is, the company who makes them, just sings them all in one go. They don't do like separate individual type ones. So I think that's probably the reason why I've just gotten so many and that at once. Let's plug power in while I'm here, because when you're recording, this doesn't want to go in. There we go. So yeah, that's why. What was I saying? Oh yes. So yeah, but unless, to be honest, unless they ask for them back, I don't know if I'm going to send them back, because they didn't give me any address or anything, any specific address to send it actually back to, because rather than the one on there which I cut, I don't know where it's gone. Plus they haven't given me any money to send it, any label or anything to send it back with either. So unless they send me a label or give us the money to send it back, then I'll just sit and wait. To be honest, I doubt they will, because they're being a bit busy at the moment, because I called them up the other week asking about it. No, it was actually about the Series 5 soundtrack, actually, whether we were getting it. And they said, oh yeah, we're having to update things. Things are being a bit slow at the minute, because most of the people working there at the minute have COVID at the minute. Or at least they did have. I don't know if they do now. That was about a week or so ago. That was a little bit more than a week. It was when when Across the Spider-Verse came out. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. There we go, people. There we go. Alright, so it's the 9th of August. I've got a really sore throat at the minute, so which is why I'm talking a bit quieter. Anyway, this is a huge... Look at the size of this box. And for what is inside it, I think they went a little bit overboard. I can see why the postage was $5.50 for this, because when I initially bought it I thought, are they making a bit of money on the postage? But I don't think they actually are, because I've sent it in the world's biggest box for it. Hopefully it's packed well inside. I couldn't hear anything sliding around in there. Oh god. I'll just move these two bits of cardboard for a second. Shredded up magazines. I mean, at least it's not packing peanuts. But still, let's try and get this out without them going everywhere. It was wrapped in bubble wrap as well. So yeah, just compared the size of this to size of that. Yeah, it's a huge box. Thank you for your purchase on there. Some of them did go away. Anyway, this figure cost me, I think, was £15 total, or $15.50, I think it was, including the postage. And again, $5.50 of that was postage. It doesn't want to come out. There we go. So yeah, it is a classic series Wave 1 5th Doctor figure, brand new in box. So yeah, now I did originally get one of the... Oh, I just noticed there's a slight... Ooh, no! Oh no, I'll have to check the original picture actually to make sure it's not in that original picture, because otherwise it has had a bit of a thump, but at least it's still sealed. But yeah, not a bad price for this. It is reflecting over everything though. Let's see. No matter what way I put it, it's just reflecting the light. And there we are, and that is just about completing the K1 robots. So yeah, very happy to get this. Now this, I do already have one of these, obviously not brand new in box. I remember I got mine originally when it came out. I remember I saw it in a Tesco, and they had an offer on 3 for 2. So I was just like, oh great. Unfortunately my mum would not let me get it then, because it was going to be like an Easter present, and she wouldn't let me get it then, unfortunately. So later, when we went back there, I think it was Easter. No, it wasn't Easter. It wasn't Easter. I'm a lie. It was something else I was getting. Basically, I was going to be getting some money for something in a week's time. But unfortunately, when we went back a week later, they weren't on 3 for 2 anymore. So I was only able to get 2 figures as opposed to 3. So yeah, I'm still annoyed about that over a decade later. But yeah, there it is. I did also subsequently, I think it was a couple of years ago, I think it was, or maybe more, I don't know, I can't remember, but I did also pick up a loose one as well, because my original one, and this is a problem with all the 5th Doctor figures, but particularly the earlier ones, the paint does eventually start to chip off on the coat. So yeah, but this one's going to stay brand new in box, and also this one is also... There was a lot of complaints about it at the time, but those complaints now make it unique, as it doesn't have the celery. Yeah. And basically, Alduar does not like the Aces. Basically, he does not like Aces. The 80s look. So he didn't include the celery. And later came up with the excuse of, oh well, it's the 5th Doctor from Castrovalva. Even though he'd done a 5th Doctor, the Time Crash one actually came out first. It actually came out first, which did have the celery. So yeah, thankfully 2 years later, in the 11 Doctors box set, that was rectified. So, but yeah, I'm going to stop now because talking is really killing my throat. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's the 14th of September. Yeah, I'm hoping that this contents is not damaged or destroyed, because I don't like these paper bag type ones. Because also they also tend to make a bloody mess. Yeah, it is just literally... Okay, so... Right, so they have seemingly remained undamaged. So, here is the slipcase, or slip card, for Doctor Who Past Lives Volume 1, or number 1, which was missing from the first one. There's my number. So I've got 888 out of 3,000, although, again, since it's a separate slip card, whether the CD corresponds to that. Interestingly though, it also means that, because these have the cellophane round the actual cardboard, so at least they've sent them out with the cardboard this time. I would have much rather just waited and sent the CDs with them, but yeah, there we go. So at least we have got them, so they weren't lying. So let's take a look at them. This is the next one. This is the second one, the Artist at the End of Time, which is alright. I'm going to have to do a video on these. I'm waiting for them all to actually come out. What number is this? 1777. The problem with all of these, though, is that basically they all follow a similar sort of structure. And in terms of the story arc, like, there hasn't really been anything to the story arc. Like, I've just listened to the 5th story in the range, which features David Tennant and Michelle Gomez, and basically it's just a bunch of singular stories. This one though is legitimately good though. This one's actually a pretty good one. A Genius for War. This one is actually legitimately good. The others aren't bad, they're just kind of because the problem a lot of them face is basically, one, we'll start the story off with, you know, one of the 3 Doctors, one of the first 3 Doctors for a bit. Then suddenly the degeneration will start, and then we'll have the main Doctor for the rest of the story. And then at the very, very end, for like a scene or 30 seconds in some cases, the degeneration will start again, and we'll have another Doctor for, again, that amount of time. And that's basically it. And yeah, it's just like when you're 5 stories into an 8-story set, and there's still no progression of the story arc, that's like, yeah, that's not a good sign. This one though is actually a legitimately good story. This one is, and I won't spoil it, but if you are going to listen to any of them, like, basically just listen to this one. Now, another problem that they face, which is separate from this, another problem that they all face is particularly, not this one, but the next one, the 4th one, is basically, it feels very fanficky, shoving in all these characters. Like with the one with the Sixth Doctor, you've got the Sixth Doctor, you've got Harry, you've got Jackie Tyler, and then you've got Lady Christina D'Souza. And they all just like, it just feels like shoving characters in just to shove characters in. You know, it's just like, no matter what the rhyme, no reason. Like, the thing is, they don't really have much or anything to do in them. It's just like, oh, these are past characters from Doctor Who, let's put them in there. Let's shove them in there. And it's just, yeah, they don't really have anything to do, unfortunately, so... a bit disappointing on that regard. I'm hoping this one isn't dinted. But, yeah, can I show the number for this one? But then it's 1,454. So yeah, now where did I put the CD for this one? That's another thing, where the hell did I put the CD? Hopefully I do find it, but put it on there. But yeah, knowing that, like, I would have rather them just waited rather than send out the CD and then not, because you get the digital copy in that anyway to download, so yeah, I generally never need to open any of them. So, yeah, hopefully the next one, hopefully the fourth one and the fifth one on that will come sooner, hopefully, because, yeah, I don't know what's up with them, because, you know, manufacturing CDs and that, it's, like, I understood why it took the vinyl records so long, but CDs, like, come on. Dead easy. We've been doing it for days, but yeah, Big Finish is seemingly falling behind with new releases, but yeah, there we go, people, there we go. Alright, so, stop the camera from wobbling there. So, it is the 15th of September. Package here, which is a CD that's been just sent in a plastic bag. So, yeah, hopefully it's not cracked. It is a used CD, and this is technically an early birthday present, technically, but we'll get into that in a minute, as well as other things. It does have a crack on it. Just there, can you see it? A hairline crack. Other than... oh no! Look at that. Oh god, this is not in great nick. This is not in very good condition. I thought initially, oh, it looks in decent. It's not. It is not. Yeah. Don't know. So, me and my friend both wanted this CD for our birthdays, and both of our birthdays are in October. They're 3 weeks apart. Now, so we just decided we'll buy our own copies of them each, because there was 2 on Amazon, and they were basically the same price as each other. Mine was a penny more. This one was £8.51. His was £8.50. And yeah, now the main thing about this is the CD is also out of print and can get expensive. But it includes a lot of the Doctor Who EPs, most of them that were released during the 1960s, like Who's Doctor Who by Fraser Hines, Who is the Doctor by John Pertwee, I'm Going to Spend My Christmas with a Dalek, as well as a couple of bonus tracks, for example, Time Traveller, previously unreleased, featuring Fraser Hines. Interestingly, it's got the 33 and a third album, which is a little bit deceiving, because it doesn't have that 21-minute version of The Chase Part 6 on there. It is, I think it's what's on the B side, I believe. Let's go up, post here, the full. Like a roadmap style thing here. So yeah, this thing is long since out of print on CD, and I don't think it's ever had a digital edition either, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware, I don't think it's had a digital release either. So yeah, so all those people who have been digitize it. There's a load of people on YouTube who have been digitizing, particularly Who is the Doctor, and they've been doing it pretty badly, to be honest. A lot of them are pretty poor. This is a nice, clean, restored copy, basically, on there. So, yeah. But, yeah, basically, we essentially bought our own copies of that, because we're both wanting at the same thing, and there was 2 spotted on eBay. Although seeing that literally the day after I ordered it, I then spotted one the day after on eBay, which, if I can find it, was going for, there we go, yeah, it's got 1 bid currently, but it's at £1 and plus £2 postage, which looks to be in better nick than this one, so I don't know, I might get that one and, I don't know, possibly sell this one. And that, if it should, I mean, I'm hoping it should still play, hopefully, I don't know. I'm more bothered whether it rips. I do actually already have a digital copy of someone else, although I'd much rather have one physically have the CD, but also have it basically a raw rip of the CD. Yeah, as FLAC files. But yeah, pick up, and that Music Magpie had one for £11.80, I think it was, on there. But yeah, now this friend, I won't mention his name because he doesn't want us to mention his name, but he still hasn't given me all my birthday presents from last year, because there's one thing he still owes me to this day. Because last year, back in 2022, I sent him the Supreme. I was getting him a load of the Dalek sets and that, and other sets and that, just, you know, so because he was unable to find them, and as a thank you, he said, "Oh, I'll paint up one of your I'll paint up one of your Daleks for you, the Supreme Dalek, to look like the Red Terry Nations one from the Weetabix advert." And he said, "Oh," and we kind of discussed it a bit and decided, "Oh, we'll make it a birthday present, mate, as well, because, you know, it was by the time he would get it, and that would be just a bit for my birthday." So he said, "Okay, I'll do it for your birthday. It might be slightly late," but I went, "Yeah, no bother." Then he didn't start it until a couple of months ago. Yeah, he didn't even start it until a couple of months ago. That's how long. So yeah, I don't know. He keeps promising it. Yeah. I keep telling him about it, you know, to get it bloody done. You know, he says, "Oh, I feel guilty about it." And I say, "Well, don't feel guilty about it, just get it done." So, because at this point, he's basically had my Dalek for an entire year at this point. So, yeah, basically, I'm telling him basically to get his arse into action and just finish it off. Finish it off, like, so, yeah. Anyway, there we go. There's that. I hope this gets a vinyl release as well. This would be a really nice re-release on vinyl. Particularly a lot of them, like the Fraser Hines' Who's Doctor Who, and I'm going to Spend My Christmas with the Dalek, are pretty rare and expensive as well. So yeah, hopefully we get those and that as well. And also, well, I've got it here. I put the slipcover on here, so yeah, there it is with the slipcover, and this is probably the only one I'll have that does not have the cellophane and that on the outside. So yeah, it's going to look a little bit odd. It would have been nice, to be honest, rather than having these with individual slipcovers, what I would have rather have had is a box like they did with the 50th anniversary stories, the 11 audiobooks that they did for that, where, you know, you could buy them individually, but if you bought them all as a special edition, they came in a box. and that together, that would have been, you know, nice. I would have rather that because they would have looked quite nice like that. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe they might offer it. I don't know. It didn't mention anything like that along there other than just like the slip card. So, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, other than that, the only difference between the standard and a special edition is the alternate artwork on the front and the slip card. And basically, there's no point in buying. I don't know why you would buy a digital copy of the special edition when you can just buy the standard edition version of the digital copy. I believe all the content in that is exactly the same. Well, it should be anyway, but yeah. There we go, people, there we go. Okay, so just a quick little update. It is the 24th of September today, and I've not only I have swapped this for a different CD jewel case, so you can see there's no crack in there, and if I open it up, you can see there, no damage. That spindle, it's holding it in place. What I did is, rather than just buying a donor CD case, I also remember my dad had a load of CDs in the loft, and I remembered a lot of them were actually missing the CDs themselves, including this, which is what I swapped the other one with, because there's actually no CD in here. Yeah, there's no CD in here in this one. So yeah, whatever the hell this thing is what I swapped it with. So yeah, now I've got a complete one. I did also get, I think I mentioned this, I can't remember if I did. I got a £2.50 refund for this, so a partial refund, which more than happy with that, because it was basic. Because, you know, it would basically be pretty much the price of a replacement CD jewel case, and that if I was, you know, to go out and buy one. So yeah, but thankfully I had a spare one on that here, so yeah, I can put that in there. And if you want to know the trick to taking these apart without breaking them, is basically get a very fine flat tip screwdriver and just poke it in here, get that corner out, and then poke it in there, get that bit out, and then it just lifts out. Obviously be gentle, but that's generally the trick with taking those apart without breaking them. So yeah, and also, as I mentioned, me and my friend both wanted this for our birthday, so basically we bought our own essentially, so it would come to, you know, each other's houses, and we got it for basically the same price each. And his was also damaged. It had a cracked case as well. I can't remember if his spindle was damaged or not. But mine was to the point where it wasn't holding the disc in it at all. It was the case itself that was stopping the disc from, you know, flying off. But he also got issued a £2.50 refund. So yeah, basically we both, you know, called it even on that with that, at least for now, because he still owes me something. But he owes me a few things. But yeah, there we go, people. There we go.